rhythm it back and I'm back and it happening, ready to blow. I remember doing deeds with Deji from the street, they left me on my own. Mom kept asking me about how I got the P, I told her leave it, mum and grow. Then they're ringing off my phone, then they're ringing off my phone.
Hi everybody, welcome to Baz the Bar channel, and I have been joined by Trevor Baker, the head of Premiere Play, or the director of Premiere Play, I should say. Get the title right.
Hi, boss. Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you too. Oh my God, that was such a bombshell that you landed us the other day. When we were at Calling Leon, there was a lot of speculation about where the world premiere event was going to be, you know, because everyone's thinking it's going to be in Europe. There was talk about sort of like where the Pro Tour is going to be. Everybody sort of like was throwing in countries as guesses. Spain came up. Obviously, UK came up because we had Liverpool at the beginning of this year. And we were, you know, everyone wants it back in their own country, don't they, really? But yeah, the bombshell that hit us a couple of days after Leon, that was brilliant. That tweet was awesome.
Yeah, you know, I had to get something to kind of whet people's appetite a little bit, you know. So definitely, we're definitely a fan at LSS of putting these little, like, you know, subtle blacked out tiles on the site with, you know, this article's coming, or this you know, this event announcement is coming, that sort of thing. And I was like, you know what, people have waited a bit for this. Let's get the buzz going before ProQuest season. So yeah, had a little fun with that.
That was awesome. How many extra followers did you get from that one? I mean, because I followed.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I don't really have much of a Twitter base, despite, you know, joining when I was in university in, like, whatever it was, like 2009 or something. I think maybe I got like 30 followers, you know, out of it. So hey, for me, with my pesky almost 300 followers, you know, we're itching, just kind of like inching closer and closer to a milestone there. But yeah, I don't know. I have more friends on Facebook than I do on Twitter. But you know, Twitter is a little bit easier for discovery. As long as I put, you know, hashtag #pabtcg, it'll usually, you know, get where it needs to go.
I mean, it got an awesome reaction. You know, I've put some of the reactions up sort of like in the intro so people can see, but the excitement is there. People already looking for hotels. When I was at the ProQuest in Dice Cup, people are talking about hotels already. You know, where are they staying? It's right. It's in the Excel Centre, right in the heart of Docklands. It's right next to the London City Airport as well. Whether or not I'm not sure what planes go into that one, but when we've spoken before, it's all about accessibility to a site. You know, that's why sort of like event places get chosen for you know, these big events.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. So yeah, so XL London definitely ticks a lot of boxes as far as accessibility goes. You are right on the Docklands there, so if you're flying from within Europe, or if based on where you're coming, you need to take a, you know, a stop in, say, Amsterdam, you can choose to fly into London City, LCY, instead of Heathrow or Gatwick. And then you will literally be just across the dock, from where Excel is, a 5-minute taxi cab or Uber, and you'll be at your hotel there on the Docklands. So yeah, look, London City Airport, I've flown into it a few times before for other events at Excel. It's super nice. I usually, the way I usually time things is I'll usually fly into London City and then I'll fly out of Heathrow, because I'm kind of a lounge snob and I really want to fly out of Heathrow so I can, you know, go to the Virgin Atlantic clubhouse, because to me that's part of the experience of going to London is hitting up the Virgin Clubhouse. But whether you're, you know, a SkyTeam flyer, or if you're One World and you need to hit the British you know, Emerald Lounge, and you know, that sort of thing, you know, that is kind of a fun thing on departure. But if you can, on the arrival, fly into London City, it'll be good. But regardless, I think the big thing that's been huge for Londoners is the Elizabeth line. Finally, after years of delay, you can land at Heathrow, and it's like 45 minutes, and it's one train that takes you from Heathrow to Custom House at XL West, right? Now, depending on where you choose to stay, so XL is quite large. It actually spans 2 DLR stops. So you've got on the west side, you've got Custom House. On the east side, you've got Prince Regent. You can stay on either side. I'm happy to share that that the Pro Tour will be on the east side, on the Prince Regent side. So so if you do take the Elizabeth line all the way to Custom House, you'll just make one quick transfer for one stop. You'll go from Custom House over to Prince Regent XL West, and we'll be right there on the east side of Excel. So if you are booking a hotel, first thing there, we are doing hotel blocks at the moment.
Nice.
We'll have some information coming out. Should be around November, late November this year. We should have some options for folks. You'll probably want to stay on the east side of Excel. Just it'll make your trip in the morning a lot easier. Excel is super long. If you stay on the west side, you're gonna have to walk all the way through Excel. If you stay on the east side, you'll just be able to, just kind of like walk in through the doors, and we'll be the first hall on the left. Yeah, that's my little word for the wise on getting around Excel. Book a hotel that's on the east side, on the Prince Regent side, and you will be all set for your trip to the UK this April.
So you mentioned about sort of like a hotel block. Does that come as standard when you book at Excel, or is this lessons learned from calling Phuket, where you had the hotel bookings coincided with the actual event itself?
So for some of our tier 4 events, we do try and get hotel blocks out there. So we had options out there for like Los Angeles, and we had options out there for Amsterdam earlier this year. So we certainly make that attempt to try and get block info out there where it's possible. In the case of London, it's not something centrally offered by Excel, but there are a number of what I would call like chain hotels that are set up for doing hotel blocks. So just on that east side, there's a Loft, there's a Moxie, there's a Doubletree, and there's a couple others as well. And those are all kind of these big brand name hotels that have the infrastructure in place to be able to offer booking links and things like that. So yeah, those discussions are underway. We'll have hopefully a couple options for folks if you want to be like right next door to Excel. It's going to cost a little bit more to stay at the Loft. If you're willing to walk 1 or 2 blocks and stay over at the Moxie, you'll be able to save a little bit of money. But we'll have some options out there for folks depending on where they want to stay. When they come. And then yeah, Phuket, very special sort of occasion where we had the whole holiday experience sort of thing, and I look forward to doing another show like that again in the future. So
nice. So like you said, we're at the Excel. Was there any other locations within the UK you were looking at, or has it always been, because you've said you've been to the Excel before, is it always a place you wanted to be?
So it's one of those things where if you get to bring one of these programs in our portfolio that's a behemoth like the Pro Tour or World Championship, you kind of have to use these moments to unlock venues that are harder for you to use otherwise, right? Like for an ordinary calling, going to London, with the way that kind of the framework is right now, the business case for it is a bit more challenging, right? But when you have something like a Pro Tour and you have the scale working in your favor that matches the scale of something like Excel in London, it's kind of like a natural pairing where it's like, what, we've always wanted to go and do something in London proper, and the Excel is a prestigious venue that's hosted so many great industry events over the years. So it's kind of just one of those natural kind of things. There's a lot of other great venues in the UK that we've been to. We've been to the NEC. Yep. NEC certainly super capable of hosting something like a Pro Tour, or Liverpool, another great venue. Manchester has some great venues as well. Manchester Central, things like that. But when you get these moments where you can really put Flesh and Blood on the global stage, you got to take your shot, right? So you got to go for London. So that's what it is, man. That's where we got to be. So
Even
yeah.
the way you've done London on the image that we can see on the screen with the Union Jack within the letter O, it just looks brilliant. Seems very English to do.
Shout
Sort
out
of like
Keegan on the marketing team. So Keegan made that image. So yeah,
it's brilliant. Which other countries did UK pick to the post? What other places were you looking? So people are going to be excited to think they might get it another time.
Yeah. So first things first. So London was already kind of shortlisted from last year. So when we were searching for where we would go in 2023, and we ultimately, we were searching in 2023 for 2024, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we ultimately picked, Amsterdam, right? But London was definitely a shortlist already for this year's event. But yeah, I mean, look, we don't need to really beat around this. Like, France has always kind of come up in the conversation a lot, right? There's a lot of desire to do something in France, in Paris, right? We don't have to, hide this, right? Like there's a lot of admiration for the French community for these kinds of things. But if we're going to do something, once again, like if we're going to do something and we want to do it right, like if we want to be in Paris, we want to do it in Paris, proper, where you can walk out of the venue and actually feel like you're in Paris. We don't want to do it, out in the suburbs or out at Charles de Gaulle or that sort of thing. It's just not, it's not the same. So so France obviously is a place that we always search. We search up in the Scandics as well. There's I have a great relationship with the venue management up in Bella Center in Copenhagen. There's down in Spain, we have a great history of working on events down there.
Mm-hmm.
This comes up because people bring it up. Czech Republic is another market that's been on our radar as well. So we've got connections there. I mean, look, we're searching all over, but obviously we wanted to get out of the Benelux region because we'd just done Amsterdam, right? So we try and move these things around a little bit, and we had just done Barcelona the year before. So look, and we've obviously been in Lille for the first pro tour in Europe. So yeah, look, we cast a wide net. We solicit quite a wide range of offers, and then those kind of get filtered down into into kind of like a candidate short list, and then from there we do a bit more of a deep dive into the venue, into the city, into the dates, into the pricing, and that sort of thing. So yeah, ultimately, great relationship with Excel. Just in my professional career, I've been doing business with them for almost 10 years now. So it's nice to be able to just ring them up and and you don't have to reintroduce yourself. Obviously people change jobs, careers, wherever they're going, but it's just really nice to be able to pick up the phone and just be like, hey Ian, how's it going, that sort of thing. We can work it out, and kudos to Excel for their interests in really putting consumer shows in London on the map. Like, they deserve some credit for this too, because there's a lot of venues that we work with that are a lot more focused on B2B and industry shows and things like that, and they're just not as interested in kind of these consumer style events. But Excel has really built a reputation for hosting your MCM Comic Cons there every year, for hosting Pokemon Worlds was there a couple years ago for Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships that was there sometime before, and these kinds of things. So to their credit, they've been doing a great job of building out a portfolio of these kind of consumer style events. So yeah, well done Excel, and we're happy to join the join the ranks of all these other great industry brands that will have hosted a prestigious event at Excel. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I checked out their website before this interview just to go, okay, what other events have they got? I mean, they're jam packed until July next year. It's just like, blimey, there's F1 presentations. It's just like mind boggling what they're putting on. But yeah, it sounds like a fantastic event or venue, I should say. So, talking about other things that are actually happening that weekend, there's a big wargaming show called Salute. That is happening on the Saturday. Was that a coincidence that basically sort of like our Pro Tour ties in with that?
Just total coincidence. So I mean, look, Excel is massive. They've got what is that? Like 2,000 times 20, so 40,000 times 2. They've got like close to 100,000 square meters of exhibition space, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's just a lot of programs they have going on, and they have a lot of things to Tetris through. So just total coincidence. It's obviously that's a 1-day program. Our things kind of runs for 4 days. So if there's other industry folks that walk by, they walk past our hall, we'll have our Flesh and Blood demo learn to play booth, and it's free to walk in the hall. So for any of the war gamers out there that are kind of curious about what we're doing, we'd certainly love to welcome you during the weekend, give you a free demo, get you an IRA deck, get you on your way. So total coincidence. It sounds like it's a really nice group of guys over there that do the Salute. They've been doing it for a while, and it's it's a big war gaming show. But it's obviously, there might be like a 1 or 2% kind of like overlap sort of thing, but at the end of the day, there's always a lot of things on the calendar, and Excel is a giant venue. So yeah.
I mean, that the Learn to Play booth, if it's the one that we saw at UKGE, I mean, that was the best booth at that convention. And like my brother even said it, he doesn't play Flesh and Blood, but he said, he goes, Baz, have you seen the booth? He goes, that is amazing. And he made a beeline for it. So it certainly brings people in. It does exactly what you need it to do. It's a fantastic, bit of kit you've got.
Yeah.
So previously, you've done special merch. In the name of coins, we shall say. Is there a plan to do a Pro Tour London coin?
Well, we should have a range of merch, hopefully, and I would love to continue with the tradition of having different kinds of coins, available for people to collect from show to show. So, I don't know exactly what the full range of everything that we're going to do for London is yet. We'll be kind of working on that stuff now that everything's kind of good to go for London. But we'll have different kinds of apparel that people can wear to commemorate their experience. We have more kind of accessory lines that are starting to roll out for shows. So there'll be quite a bit more accessories for people to kind of pick from that are Flesh and Blood branded gamer accessories, which is really cool. So people will start to see some of that. Even we've got some surprises for people in Osaka still. So so we've got a lot of cool things coming through. Definitely love the coins, want to keep them going. I have a nice collection of them from over the past events. I think it's just a really cool, tangible thing to I always have fidgety things at my desk, and it's and it occasionally is one of the fidgety things that I kind of play with at my desk. So it's I think you'll be happy that we'll have like a good range of merchandise stuff for London for sure.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, so talking about things to commemorate events, sort of like the big events are always known. Players enter events to get sort of like a promo card, a card that they can't get anywhere else. Like we saw sort of like like the Sagrada Familia when at Barcelona, and there's been sort of like other cards that you've done at the minute. It's Findall's Fighting Spirit. So sort of like tying in sort of like with the video, the promo, which was quintessentially English, starting with a cup of tea, which is brilliant. Solves any problem. So if you if you submarine, have a cup of tea, everything will be okay. But sort of like the promo card, to keep it quintessentially UK fab, is there any chance you can talk to merchandising and get them to make a pummel?
So yeah, I've seen the Twitter posts about this whole thing about pummel. I guess I need to be a little bit caught up to speed of what exactly is the depth of the UK's like appreciation for pummel.
So,
I think I'm missing some context here.
Yeah, so it happened in two nationals. So the first nationals
okay,
and in 2021, and the third nationals in 2023. So basically, UK pummels don't trigger on the hit, so they don't make people discard.
I figured as much. Okay. Yep. So yeah, as soon as you started going down that path, I'm like, yep, okay. That's right. Yeah, so no, I mean, look, so yeah, there will definitely be a Pro Tour London promo card. We've certainly done kind of a range of promo cards, right? So we've done some that are like iconic promos with just iconic art and that sort of thing. We have some promos that are more of a location appreciation type promo. We have other regional promos like the Japan anime style promos that we have that are more of like a artwork and localization appreciation. So we will have some cool stuff that will commemorate the Pro Tour London. Obviously the art as a pipeline is kind of a tricky thing. So it's not always easy to have like this perfect pairing of a piece of like localized artwork with a card. That's kind of making these things work can be challenging at times. So so I can't necessarily commit that it's going to be a specific thing from London architecture, right? But there will for sure be a Pro Tour London exclusive promo card, and it's going to be of a card that I think people will be happy to bling out and add to their collection. It's something that something we've never done a promo of before. So so yeah.
It sounded like you wanted to tell us then,
but I'll leave it at we'll leave it at that. So yeah.
Nice, brilliant. Thank you so much for your time, Trevor. It's been awesome that you've come on and spoke to everybody about why you chose like London as a venue, the ExCeL Centre. A little bit of tidbit what could expect. I'm so excited to that it's going to be in the UK. More exciting stuff to come. You've got sort of like Osaka just around the corner in a couple of weeks. It's probably all gearing up for that. But thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I've got there was one. So I have a promise to somebody who asked me a question on Twitter that it was Andy Modell asked. Super excited about PT London. One question for the OP team next time you're on an interview or feel like dropping news on Twitter. What's the main motivation to move away from awarding PTIs for PT top finishers? So I don't know if you saw that in the article or if any of that news kind of has started to percolate or not, but we made one sort of like subtle change on the event details page where top 32ing a Pro Tour now just rolls you into the next Pro Tour essentially, rather than issuing you a PTI. And there's a number of factors that in play here, and I think a lot of this will really kind of come to light in a greater 2025 organized play sort of like update.
Mhm.
But the general philosophy here is that um, we want the PTIs that get used at a pro tour to kind of be a little bit more like a one-way street. Like you qualify for the pro tour, whether that be through playing in a pro quest or topping a battle hardened or a calling and winning a PTI, that sort of thing. And then you use that invitation to enter the pro tour. But then once you're on the pro tour, we just want to keep you playing on the pro tour. And there's going to be
Yeah, yeah.
some other levers that'll be in play that we'll talk about later. But the idea then is that we get you on the pro tour and we reward you to stay playing on the pro tour with just an invitation to the next one. And so yeah, you know we've got a lot of things that we have to do to kind of preserve our room for growth and this sort
Mhm.
of thing. And this is just one of those sort of changes that we've had to make as we kind of shape like the entire 2025 thing. So so to Andy, more context to come, but the general idea is that we want you to use these invitations to join the pro tour, and then once you're on it, you should just kind of roll into the next pro tour if you were to top it. So and I hope that in the greater context it'll make a little bit more sense. So so that's to Andy, and then I think maybe the last thing that I'll share is there was a lot of great guesses in terms of where the location was going to be, right, for this
Okay.
pro tour. So we had a lot of people. There's a lot of love for Italy. I discovered, right, that a lot of people love. They really want to go to Rome. They really want to go to Milan. These
Mhm.
kinds of things. There's a lot of other guesses from even I think like Michael Fung was like, "Whoa, could it be in Switzerland or could it be Eastern Europe or maybe up in the Scandics?" But I think one destination kind of always rises to the top that isn't the UK, that is always at the top of people's minds that people want to go, and that's Prague, right? Everyone
Okay.
wants an excuse to go to Prague, right?
Yeah, even when
Uh,
Warsaw was announced, it was like when we going there? When we going to
yeah,
Prague?
yeah, and obviously the player community is a bit more developed, let's say in Poland, right?
Hmm.
Whereas our we're still kind of like growing the sort of we're growing everywhere, but I would say the Czech community definitely has a lot more capacity to grow, but yeah, so Prague is just always a name that comes up because it's super accessible, cheap to get there, really cheap to stay. Everyone really wants to go to Prague. I like Prague. It's a great place. I love the architecture. Lots of great Gothic inspired, architecture. And so, yeah, I'm happy to share that the world premiere for set 15 will be January 17 to 19, 2025, happening in Prague at the PVA Expo Praha. Look forward to seeing you there. Tickets will go on sale October 31st, live from the keynote in Osaka. So you'll definitely want to tune in, or we'll see you in Osaka, where we'll talk all things flesh and blood. But I know that so many people are itching to put this on their calendar. So yeah, that's where we'll be. Set 15 world premiere, calling Prague, coming January next year. So
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I was not expecting you to drop that bombshell.
yeah,
So
so
wow.
yeah,
Okay. So yeah, get that in your diaries. Start looking at flights because that's going to come round really quickly. 3 weeks, we find out what the next set is going to be. It's going to be awesome. I'm so looking forward to watching a sucker. It's a shame I can't be there, but yeah, I'm going to be sticking to the streams and heading to the shop for the 5th anniversary event. I
well,
hope hopefully it will finish so I don't miss any of the action from Worlds itself.
definitely, and you'll have to be cheering the UK team on in the Team Cup as well. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
people, the amount of people that were talking about the Team Cup calling Leon, it's got people excited, really excited to join in. So yeah, it's that's going to be a spectacle to be, for sure. So Trevor, that's awesome. I was so happy that you came on. Thank you so much for giving me your time.
Of course, anytime, Barry. It's always a pleasure having a chat with you, and thanks for taking this quick interview on short notice. I figured the fans would like to hear a little bit, and yeah, I mean, London, what a monumentous occasion for us to bring the Pro Tour there, and then also for all of our fans throughout Europe to be able to go to Prague in January. I think it's going to be it's just going to be brilliant. So yeah.
So leave a comment, tell Trevor how excited you are about going to Prague, how excited you are for Osaka in a couple of weeks' time. It just keeps getting better and better. It's just unreal. It's so exciting to be part of Flesh and Blood. It's just absolutely brilliant. So click, like and subscribe, get the notifications because you don't want to miss any more news. See you next time. Nice. Oh my God, that was a bombshell, wasn't it?